I think it may be time to move on soon. Like, I am feeling a new challenge, and
Oh, yes!
hello and welcome back to another episode of our Mattov English Journey, and welcome back to the town of Alfreton, where it looks like we will be staying put for the moment being. In this episode, I'm going to go through the plans for the future of the club as of right now, and also, as ever, the transfers that we've made, because it is a new season off the back of our playoff finish in the third season of this series. And yeah, then after that, we might have two games. We might have just the one against Rochdale, maybe another against Oldham at the Impact. I think this set of games are actually the first two games we had when we got back up to the National League, which is quite coincidental. But we should be able to play them today. So first thing we're going to go through is the plans for the club. I think it may be time to move on soon. Like, I am feeling a new challenge, and within the 3 seasons that I did say get promoted to League Two, that would be the goal back to the Football League. And them 3 seasons have now passed. We made we made it as far as the playoffs, so the second round of the playoffs, which, in my opinion, even though it's not the League Two finish that we wanted, it's still very, very impressive from the situation we were in. I recognised we needed those 3 seasons to go up, and maybe we didn't do it in the three. We got really close, and we put ourselves as one of the better teams in the league. You'd say definitely. You'd think we guaranteed a top half finish in this league should we play how we have over the last 2 seasons, and then contesting on for those higher positions is obviously a completely different matter. But I just think that if a job was to come up that was to be more interesting, the media are definitely backing us, and clubs have looked at us already. And with looking at this vision, the board is still thinking that they want us to stay up, and I feel like I want to go on and do something new. And even if you look here, the vision doesn't expand on from that. I feel like if the right job comes up, we definitely could be moving on from this club. So in any one of these episodes coming up, there could be a chance to move. However, that move did not happen in the summer, and I think that was a good decision personally. There was a few jobs going around, but in the end, we were not moving on as of yet. And in the first few months, maybe I think we'll stay here. Maybe around December we could move in line with the transfer window, depending on where we go as well. Maybe saving a team from relegation, staying with them for a few more seasons and seeing where we can go up into these higher football leagues. It could be the time to move on. As I say, all the opportunities are starting to piece together, and the it's all making sense now. So although I'm staying here, if we were to have a miraculous season where, we were one of the teams in this top three, because obviously last year, if we go and look at the league table, the teams who were contesting this top were remarkable, really. Rochdale on 96, Wimbledon on 98, and the MK Dons on 99. They have obviously now left us and gone up to League Two. If we were to be one of those teams, maybe we stay for the whole of the season. But I feel like what we've achieved here in the time has been good. Even if we didn't get the League Two, I'm not really too disappointed. It has been a really, really good time here at Alfreton. So as I say, in any one of these episodes, it could change, and we could be moving on to another club. But we just have to see how it goes in the next few, and maybe a decision will be made off camera, brought in to the next episode. But as it stands for now, we are still here at the club, and of course we've just had a summer pass us by, and we have to go through a few of the transfers that have been made at the club. So first of all, I think it's time to look at the players that have been released from the club, and that is, I think this season has probably been the most where players have been released. So as you can see here, the list of players who have been released, there's quite a few names in there, notably Max Wright, who was quite important for us at times in the last 2 seasons. He was just an emergency backup. He came back, he came into the team and was really good for us. However, he has left us now. Good service from him. Another player as well, Lewis Salmon. I mean, it's a shame this guy never worked for us, but I just don't think he ever fitted in the system. He had a really, really good season at Boreham Wood last year. He was actually he was top scorer in the National League North, and Bournemouth did get promoted. So I'm not sure why they wouldn't go and snap him up if he had a good season there. But I think it might be a similar situation with how we had him. He was good with us in the National League North, but then coming up, he wasn't the player that we wanted. We gave him a season, we tried him, but it just wasn't meant to be for him. And now he has left the club, and maybe he'll go on to another club and develop there. But for us at the moment, I don't think it's the right decision to keep him in. Another player as well, Tom Hewlett, same sort of situation. I mean, we gave him time in that season before, wasn't meant to be, and now he's gone out of the club. And this one, it's probably the saddest signing of all. Harry Perrett has left the club. Our captain of last season, he played so many games for us over the years, but I just think we've moved on to better things. If we want to have a good season, and if we were to stay here for another year, replacing the like of Harry Perrett would be a reasonable signing. But we could maybe bring him back in. He is obviously on non-contract, and if we do ever need to bring him back in, there may be something in there. But I just think at the moment it's better to leave him out the club, and I just think it's the best decision. He was also asking to stay as a quite highly regarded player, important player in Football Manager terms. I couldn't offer him that personally, knowing that we wouldn't be giving him that time. So that was the decision made, and it's just how it is really. Now for the players who we brought in, first player we brought in was Terrell Agyemang, as you can see here, midfielder for us. We brought in quite a few midfielders this year. He is one of them who has come in, quite a few good attributes, good star rating. I think he will get quite a lot of minutes. Not sure about a starting position. I think he may be getting that starting position, but you need to look at also the other midfielders who we brought in. Quite a few less signings than normal this year, but he is one of them who has come in. The next player we brought in, James Nolan. He is the Harry Perry replacement released by Man United. As you can see there, he has come straight into the team. Got some good attributes, especially on the physical side. Maybe not so much on the technical and mental side, but he is still quite young and could develop into a real great player. He is a very exciting type of player there. As you can see, next player in, Lewis Billington. He is a centre back. This one is a bit of an interesting one. As I say, he could develop as well. He has got some really, really good attributes. It's a bit of a touch and go, this one, whether or not he'll be good or not, but I think he had the potential. We will be bringing in another centre back. We could start Crowther, but this guy looks good. We were to bring in another good centre back who we do already have lined up, and I think we could have some good strength and depth in that position. And then the next player we brought in, Axel Peisold. He is a midfielder as well, than one of the three midfielders we brought in this summer. He probably looks the best out of all of them. He was a former Tottenham Academy player, and as you can see here, he is a 5-star potential as well, so bringing in more good potential players just like we have in the last few years. Good attributes all over the board. He could make out to be a really, really good player. And then the final transfer for now, we've brought in Kieran Gilligan. He is another midfielder. I think he helps us a bit more on the depth side of things. He has played in the Football League for quite a few years, which is always important to see. Another good player who we brought in to help us strengthen that midfield position. So some good signings there, a few more to come in. Another player who I am looking at here is Tony Gabopo. He is a centre back, really, really good player. We would be bringing him in on loan if he was to come in, but should he do, he could be a really exceptional player at centre back. He is still quite young, and he is getting released at the end of the year. Maybe we could snap him up. I'm not too sure. He looks like a decent player for us. So yeah, hopefully we can bring him in. I'm not too sure if we will, because he is coming from quite a big club. I'm sure he'll be getting attracted from others as well, but we'll just have to see. So that's the transfers we made. Maybe they'll pay off. We didn't get as much money this year. This year it has been a different board, and we just didn't get as much. We had quite a lot of wage budget, but the money's never been exceptional here. This season probably not the best for it, and yeah, we did what we can. Tried to strengthen where I could, making the decision as well whether to move on from here. Took up a lot of consideration as well, which was which led to later signings being made, and some of these maybe they might not pay off, especially in these midfield positions as well. Maybe have promised too much time to some players. Regular starter for Agyemang, Peisold is a regular starter, and also Gilligan, an important player. Hopefully that doesn't become too much of an issue in the season should we stay here, but hopefully they can be good for us, and it may convince us to stay for the full season. So the team for this opening game of the season against Rochdale in our fourth season here on the channel and at Alfreton. Starts with Adams in goal. Got a backline of Newell, Crowther, Sassy and Nolan. We've got Cantrell, Peisold and Kelly in the midfield. Starkey on the left, Harlem Hale on the right, and Kenny Coker is still with us. Luckily, he could have another great season here for us. Few things I want to mention. We have changed the defensive shape. We were playing with a high line, high press. I realised actually that I don't even like a high press that much. We have dropped back a little bit more to a standard line and a bit of a mid block. We were conceding quite a lot of goals, and maybe that is the reason why we didn't have the best pre-season, but that's not really something to focus on. In my opinion, Guerrero Pollard out with a bit of an injury at the moment, which is a shame for him. Caden Kelly stays in the attacking midfield role, though he hasn't developed much. He did have a good season for us last year, and I was thinking of dropping back a little bit more. So we are obviously a bit more defensive because we did concede up to 90 goals, I think it was last season, but we were also attacking quite a lot. So it's just something you have to consider how we structure this team. But I think for the opening game of the season, it could be good. If we ever want to drop back to a lower line in midfield, we can start the like of Gilligan and Agumanga as well. So let's go and see what we do in this game. As Rochdale will have the first chance of this game. This free kick going in for them there, but deflects off our wall, and now it will be a corner to Rochdale. As I say, I think it's a pretty exciting time at the club at the moment. We have this chance to move on to a bigger club. Hopefully, we have been offered at times, been considered, but we've never got the move ultimately. But I just think it would be really so cool to try and go and have some good seasons there. But I still think that's quite a long time away. We need to focus on this of now. We don't want to start off bad here and leave this club in a bad state after what has been a good few years here, and we need to just have good start to the season. And should we move in mid-season, then that will come naturally. And should we stay for the whole season, I don't know. I'm just not sure if it's possible to take this club any further than it has already gone. Maybe I'm wrong, but the amount of signings that I've made, I mean, I'm personally not too convinced, which is probably something that I shouldn't be really saying. But I mean, there was positions where I wanted to strengthen at times, but I just couldn't. I wasn't able to bring the players in, and maybe that's just down to me. But when you don't have the scouting budget and stuff like that, it's tough to decide the players you want to bring in and things like that, man. It's just a whole load of different factors. The excitement of wanting to go to a bigger club as well. It's all a factor of wanting this move away from the club, and I feel like we've had a good few seasons here. I'm not too sure how much further I can take them. We were saying about the Football League, and although we've missed out on it, we were pretty much in touching distance of it, and although we missed out on it, it's not something that I'm too disappointed in because we were really really close. We proved that we could be a solid playoff team, and I think another manager come here and could come here and build on that and take it to where it should be. And I just think maybe if it's not possible, Rob and the boys have been exceptional players, but I just think that's what we have to do in this moment. We were so close, and it's not disappointment that is making me want to leave the club. It's the fact that okay, we were this close to the goal, and now you've got to consider: are we just going to keep going at it and picking away when there's no guarantee that we can make it? When we didn't do it last year, even if we had the chance, and you consider then how much longer you have to stay here before it happens, and that's just not something I'm willing to do at this moment in time. And this start to the game is not displaying it at all. Maybe we need to change up a few things if we are going to stay here for a while. I'm not too sure in this moment. As we go 2-0 down early on in this game, we might have our first attacking opportunity of this game as Nathan Newell has the ball and he runs into midfield. He plays a nice ball over the top to Harlem Hale. He finds Kelly in the middle. Kelly with the shot, and it's deflected off a defender. I don't know if it was going to be a penalty or something. No one was chasing it, but it will be a corner here within 30 minutes. We might have a chance to get something from it. Nothing by the looks of it. Another player who did leave us, actually, I forgot to mention it, Tyler Williams. He went out for around a fee of 50,000 rising, which was rising up to 50,000. That's what I mean, not from a base fee of 50,000. He was a very talented player, obviously. We couldn't deny him the chance to move on, and he has now moved on from the club. And yeah, as I say, there may be the chance. Maybe a standard line with a high press could actually work. I'm thinking it could work. The high line, we were getting caught over the top a lot. in the last season and the last few seasons, so maybe this change could make a lot of sense, but it's not been our best start to proceedings here in this game. As George Cantrell plays this ball to Harlem Hale, who looked to have the shot now, and he's just hit the outside of the post. So unlucky from Harlem Hale. He was a player I was considering, getting a replacement for, and I tried to get replacements, they didn't come in. But he has had a decent preseason, and he is displaying here why he is still a decent player, even if he's on 2.5 stars. It was an interesting signing when we brought him in. He was so good on paper, but some of his attributes, in the star rating he was good, I should say, but his attributes weren't just looking the best at all, and it was a bit of a touch and go signing, and if he was going to be good or not I wasn't too sure, but he's been an amazing player for us. There's no other way of putting that, and I mean, should he keep his spot in this team, I think he could have another good season, but it's just if there's better players, why don't we bring them in? I don't know really, but he has had a decent game here by the looks of it, and he will be retaining his spot for now in these early stages of the season, but it has not been our best performance here. The new boys still getting settled in, a lot of them coming in quite late for us as the ball goes into the back post to Starkey there. Doesn't manage to reach it, but yeah, a lot of the players have been changed out. We've obviously brought in a new centre-back, new right-back, the midfield was changed completely. I think I might have gone a bit too excessive with some of those signings, I brought in. I was thinking of bringing in so many because we wanted to replace Billy Fuster. I mean, what a player he was in that National League North season, but I think it was similar to a Lewis Salmon situation. He was good in the first season in the National League, and then in the last season he didn't have a very good performance overall, even if we gave him the time. But another player who is having a great performance here, Harlem Haley's making me eat my own words. He is just being... he's putting in another good performance here, and he's showing why he wants to keep his place in this team. He is our new club captain. It was a pretty interesting choice after Harry Pratt left. We didn't really have many leaders in the whole team, but Harlem Hale was the one to be chosen, and he's going to be staying in this team. He is playing really well at the moment. It's good to see, but as I say, that midfield did change around a bit. I was thinking of swapping Kelly out and bringing in another midfielder a bit further back in the pitch, because although he was good, he may not have been developing as much as we would hoped of. He had that 5-star potential, I believe, and he hadn't reached it as of yet, but he did still put in a 20-goal assist season last year. I just wasn't sure. We have to consider as well the overall team and how we were conceding quite a lot of goals last season, and bringing in an extra midfielder a bit deeper in one of them positions, I think it could have benefited us quite a lot. Not to be at the start of this season, he will retain his starting spot there, and one of those midfielders could easily break into the main team, and there might still be time here for a bit of a comeback as Kenny Coker gets his first goal of the season. He's one player who definitely did not need changing out of this team. What a season he had for us last year, and already he is displaying how good of a player he's been for us, and Harlem Hale as well with that ball in. What players, man, honestly. We might still have time for the comeback here as the corner will be played, and now you start to think, is it possible? Cantrell plays the ball in. Starkey with a header, I think it was, or it might have been Sassy, and that one absolutely rocketing over that crossbar. There'll still be a bit of time left. We've made Dolan and also Fuster in the midfield, but it might be too little too late as a few minutes is left in extra time. It doesn't look like it'll come in this first game, but we put up a bit of a better performance in the second half. Maybe it was because we had that high press on instead of the mid block. It was a much better performance. I don't think we're playing this game against Oldham now. I have done a lot of discussing in this episode, so you won't be seeing the gameplay, unfortunately. I'm sorry about that, but has been an interesting episode. It's been a bit of a checkpoint episode, that's how I describe it, just to discuss everything going on at the moment in an interesting time at the club. So once again, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy that video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll leave you with a so tune, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you, bye bye.